And here we go. Um, Slideshow starts here. Okay, yeah. Hey, this is INET 4153 presentation by Reina Maher and I, Wen Yijie, which yeah, let's begin. And today we are going to talk about some summaries of whatever we have learned, and it's about first IT security policies and regulations, Module 1, Sarbanes-Oxley's Act, and HIPAA and FI, and some additional topics that we are going to conclude and mention later. And about IT security policy and regulations, um, one summary is mainly focused on um, how this are formulated and how this acts, and also it mentioned about like gives us some general information about how this would be a problem about for cybersecurities, and it also gave us some instructions on how to handle um, the fault that we have. For example, there is a congressional hearing on 2006 about cybersecurity and critical infrastructure protection. And we know there's like a leadership vacuum since July 2005, which is like a DHS, Department of Homeland Security vacuum, which they have made the system vacant for almost a year. And also like some information about data cost, like the average cost, total cost of the for data breach is actually pretty high for 4.35 million. And also the compromised data for attacked vectors is 4.50 per average. And there are also things like procedural fairness mentioned, which we define them as how people perceive the decision-making progress. And the thing is, the four factor that we are determining that um, is that a neutral, transparent, or factual, or consistent? And with not only the security protection, and also we learned the history back behind it, and there are some hearings and act that help us to like fill the breach and gaps of the security fault. And we also have mentioned the impact on compliance on the first module, which is pretty important to mention. And we are going to talk about the Sarbanes-Oxley Act in the next slide with our team member. And here we go. Oh,
Next up, we got the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, abbreviated as SOX. And the act was a federal law that was passed to ensure accountability and financial reporting in 2002, due to scandals such as Enron, as we've previously covered, and WorldCom. And this law requires strong internal control, and secure record keeping, and also allows the law to hold CEOs and CFOs accountable for what's reported. And for IT, this means protecting financial data and having audit trails. And it helps improve trust, security, and transparency in organizations. Next up, we got the
okay,
HIPAA Act.
that's good. Let's go with the HIPAA and DeFi.
Hi, so I'm Raina. Well, in this module, we learned about HIPAA and the importance of HIPAA and PHI. HIPAA, also known as the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, is an important aspect to security, focusing and following rules and regulations set in place to protect patients and their data. And then protecting PHI transmitted and stored electronically is crucial to maintaining a well-regulated and reputable organization while also protecting patient data via electronically.
Sounds good. Um, let's one ahead. The other information which is important, we have already mentioned it in module 4 and 5, which is something we are going to dealing with, including PCI DSS, how they were dealing with the cardholders, GLBA, Sensitive System Policy Directive 4300A, FISMA Frameworks and Government Information Security Reform Act of 2002. These are mentioned in the recent modules, and they are pretty important too of what we have covered. With reducing the redundancy, they are just going to be briefly mentioned here without further explanation. And after that, we have the conclusion. The procedure, including the importance of IT security and policy regulation, which is me, Wenyi Jiezhao, have mentioned in the previous presentations. And for the SOX, which is mentioned by my Maher, which he have mentioned the importance of SOX for HIPAA and the PHI, Reina have further guided the importance of such systems established, and the various other means to establish, maintain an IT infrastructural environment, which are our primary goal for not only succeeding in this class, but also trying to learn more about how the IT systems and regulations and the laws works as nowadays current situation. And we are done with the summaries, and thank you for watching. This is it. And if you guys have any questions, please contact our emails, and that's it. Thank you. And
Were you able to pause the recording?